Today, for a few moments, I have the privilege to talk to you about something that is so strong in my heart. And you see, when God puts something strong in your heart like this, my desire is, Lord, let it be your heartbeat. So I want to talk to you about some things that an encounter with God can do. An encounter with God. Can you repeat this with me? Just one word from God can catapult you into a new season. Now we're going to personalize that. Say, just one word from God can catapult me into a new season. And you see, for you, the word today might be faith, might be obey, might be exercise or fast, might be tithe. The word from you today from God might be as simple as forgive or love, or, there will be a word, just one word. Can you just say that with me? Just one word. I think of that person in the Bible that says, if I just touch the hem of his garment, if I just see a glimpse of his face, of his glory, I can be saved, or I could be healed, or I can be restored. It's just one word. Sometimes we confuse and we make difficult things that can be simpler if it's just one word. So 3 things that I wanted to share with you today is that have to do with an encounter with God. I'm going to give you in a few moments the word that He gave for me, but it is my prayer that as I'm sharing this with you, that you will know, and maybe you already know, what is that one word that God has for you today, because that one word can be, like Dr. Murdoch teaches us, a master key to unlock a new season in your life. So one day I was crying in my secret place, and I realized things did not change, circumstances did not change, I did not change, people did not change, nothing changed, except I maybe felt a little bit better because I had, cried a little bit. But if you're writing notes, tears do not change things. An encounter with God does. Tears do not change things. An encounter with God does. You can be in your secret place. You can be talking in communion with God. You can be crying to God. And one of the things that I remember that I had a lot of time to digest was when they said that God wasn't moved through our tears or our pain, but He was moved by our faith. And I thought, wow, that says a lot. Sometimes we go to have an encounter with God without faith. We go just to vent or to cry or to say something, but without expectation. So the next note or the next number is an encounter with God doesn't always change things, but it should always change you. An encounter with God doesn't always change things, but it should always change you. Many of us go into the secret place or talk to God, wanted things change, wanted circumstances to be different, wanted somebody else to change or whatever it is. When an encounter with God should not always or usually change all things or circumstances or people, but it should always change me. So it takes me to the next point that says an encounter with God should always improve you so you can help others. I thought many times, oh yes, it's good to receive the love of God and it's good to be blessed, but we are really supposed to be blessed and receive the healing of God and receive the fruit of the Spirit, receive the blessings of God so we can distribute and be an extension of those gifts and blessings to other people. The last point that I have here is an encounter with God should always make a deposit of His love that the world can withdraw from. You see, I thought that the love of God was only so I could get better, so my family can get better, so the church can get better, so people can feel more love. But really, an encounter with God should always make a deposit of His love so we can give it to a lost and fallen world. Many of us are receiving the blessings of God, but we are self-containing them. And God is trying to tell us and reminded us that we need to go to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, into the innermost parts of the earth to share the love of God that He has placed in our heart. So I want to tell you just in closing that one word it was for me. And you see, when I tell you this story, you'll be like, oh yeah, that is so simple. I know about that word, or I've studied that word, and actually I live that word. Wonderful, congratulations. I wish I can give you a diploma on that. But I mean, it's phenomenal that, that God has blessed you if you already know everything about this word. But the word that changed my life in the last couple of, just in the last couple of weeks, was a simple word. And I'll tell you in just a moment. Before I'm going to tell you another story. And that is in the book of Luke, chapter 4, actually chapter 5. How many of you remember the story of the disciples toiling and just trying to fish and trying to get the harvest, trying to produce, just trying to make an income for their family? They were just with their nets there, trying all night and exhausting. Meaning, like many of us Christians try to do things our way. We're trying to produce, trying to work, trying to, be good stewards, not lazy, and, trying to make things happen. But they didn't have that one word. They were working all, many of us work all the things and work all night if it's needed, whatever. But unless we have the direction of the Holy Spirit from that word, which is the divine strategy or the plan that He wants to give you and I, then we're just going to be working, but we're not going to be as effective. So the disciples were working and working and working, and then God just tells them, turn your nets there, so there was the word for them. But the word that God gave for me was a simple word called worship. Worship. There was so strong to my heart. Is my time okay? And I'm going to tell you more about that next time. God bless you so very much. And just remember, today a new season has begun for the Wisdom Center. Something special has taken place and will continue, and you and I get to be a part of that. So let's give God some praise. So gratitude and worship to the King of Kings.